Hey everyone, Jack here.
And I'm Elena.
And today we're going to try to tackle something that we know a lot of you struggle with.
Thinking in English.
Yeah. A lot of people spend so much time translating in their heads, and it's exhausting.
It really is. It can make speaking English feel like such a chore, you know?
Yeah, it really slows you down too. Wouldn't it be amazing to just let go of that and have the words just flow?
Oh, absolutely.
To understand everything directly without having that extra step.
And you know what? It's totally possible.
Yeah.
And we're going to share some really simple methods that can help you get there.
Yeah, and a lot of these are based on actual research from, really big universities.
Like Harvard.
Yeah, Harvard and Stanford, these kinds of places.
Yeah.
So are you ready to sort of unlock the secrets
Yeah, unlock those secrets.
to thinking in English?
Let's do it.
All right, so the first thing is we got to start small.
Okay.
It's like learning any new skill, right?
Right.
You wouldn't try to, run a marathon on your first day of training.
That's a good point.
So instead of trying to, change everything overnight,
Yeah.
begin with some very simple exercises.
Okay, so what kind of exercises are we talking about?
Well, one of the absolute easiest is just start naming the things around you in English.
Okay, so if I see a table.
You say table?
Table. If I see a chair.
Chair.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
And it seems basic, but it's really important for a couple of reasons.
What are those reasons?
Well, first of all, it gets you practicing the words that you already know.
Okay.
And then secondly, it makes you aware of the gaps, the words you don't know yet.
That makes sense.
So you kind of know what you need to work on, right?
So it's like taking stock of, what you have.
Yeah.
Like what tools are already in your English toolbox.
Yeah.
And which ones you still need.
Exactly.
Before you can build anything.
Yeah. I like that, the toolbox analogy.
Yeah.
So now let's take it a step further. Instead of just saying the name, try to describe it.
Right. So instead of just saying table, you can say brown table, wooden table.
Big table.
Big table, yeah.
Okay.
And you can even think about, what you do with it.
Yeah.
I eat at the table.
Right, I work at the table.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this helps you create a picture in your mind
Yeah.
in English.
Yeah.
You're connecting the word with an actual thing, not just a translation.
Okay.
Right. You're not just going from your language to English. You're going straight to the English.
Direct connection.
Yeah.
I like it.
And that's, a really key part of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Is to sort of get out of that translation mode.
Right.
And just let the English be there.
Have it be the natural language of your thoughts.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Well, what's next?
So our next tip might surprise you a little bit. We like to call this learning like a kid.
Okay.
And no, we don't mean throwing a tantrum if you can't remember a word.
Although I've been tempted a few times.
Yeah, we've all been there.
But what we mean is, think about how children learn a language.
Okay.
They don't translate, right?
Yeah.
They just experience the world.
That's true.
And they just connect the words to the things.
Yeah, they're just absorbing everything around them.
Yeah, and they're not thinking, okay, what is that in my language?
Right.
And now what is that in English? They just hear the English.
That makes sense.
They're like, okay, that's the word for that thing.
Yeah.
So how can we, as adults, how can we use this idea?
That's a good question.
Well, think about something that you're interested in, that you want to learn about.
Okay.
So maybe it's cooking.
Yeah.
Maybe it's photography. Maybe it's gardening.
Or learning about something completely new, I don't know, maybe how to fix a car.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. Anything.
Yeah.
And then find resources about that topic.
In English.
In English.
Okay.
Right. So watch videos in English, read articles in English, listen to podcasts in English.
Okay.
And the key is to do it in English from the beginning.
So not translate the information, but actually learn it in English from scratch.
Exactly. Because you're learning the concept and the word at the same time.
I see.
So your brain's like, okay, this is the word for that.
Direct connection again.
Yeah, there's no translation step.
So you're building a little English world in your mind around that topic.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, like that.
Now let's talk about something that's, it's really key.
Yeah.
If you want to think in English. Immersion.
Immersion. A lot of people think you need to move to an English-speaking country.
Yeah, travel abroad, which of course
would be great.
is a great experience if you can do it.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity.
But you don't have to book a plane ticket
Right.
to create an immersive environment.
You can do it right at home.
Yeah.
How?
Well, it's about making English a part of your daily life.
Okay, so what? How can I do that?
So many things. Change your phone settings to English. Change your computer settings to English. Follow some accounts on social media that are in English.
Watch movies in English.
Yeah, watch TV shows in English, anything.
Okay.
And even something as simple as your phone settings. You'll be surprised
Yeah.
how many new words and phrases you pick up just by seeing them every day.
It's like passive learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't forget about reading, right?
Oh, that's a good one.
Find books or articles online, things that you enjoy.
Doesn't have to be super complicated stuff.
No.
Just something you're interested in.
Exactly. And even a few minutes each day is going to make a big difference.
Yeah, just get that exposure, that regular contact.
Yeah, because you start to absorb, like, how English sentences are built.
The rhythm.
The rhythm, yeah. So it starts to become more natural to you.
Okay.
And while we're on that topic, why not keep a journal?
In English?
In English, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, a masterpiece.
So just like write down my thoughts.
Yeah, just write, your thoughts and feelings for the day, even if it's just a couple sentences.
I can do that.
Yeah, and that gets you thinking in English
Yeah.
without the pressure of,
Having a conversation with someone.
Exactly.
So it's like a private conversation with yourself.
I like that, yeah.
Okay.
So all this reading and writing is great.
It is.
But to really, make that jump
Yeah.
to thinking in English,
Yeah.
you got to start using your voice.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
I know.
The speaking part.
I know it can be scary for a lot of people.
It is scary.
But it's really crucial, trust me.
Okay. Okay, I trust you.
So even if you're alone, just try to speak out loud in English as much as possible.
So what should I talk about?
Anything.
Yeah.
Describe what you're doing. Talk to your pet.
Talk to my plants.
Talk to your plants. Have an imaginary conversation in the mirror.
Okay, so basically just get those words out there.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you know what? It might feel silly.
Probably will.
But you're training your brain.
Yeah.
Right, to form those thoughts and sentences.
Makes sense.
And the more you practice, the easier it gets.
Okay, that's good to know.
Now, if you want to work on your pronunciation, there's a great technique called shadowing.
Shadowing. What's that?
So you find a video or an audio clip of a native speaker,
Okay.
and you listen to a short sentence, maybe 2-3 seconds long,
Okay.
and then you repeat it, trying to copy their pronunciation and their rhythm.
So it's I'm their shadow.
Yeah.
I'm mimicking everything they do.
Exactly.
Got it.
And that's going to help you get those sounds and the music of the language
Yeah.
internalized.
So it becomes more natural for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, here's something that might surprise you.
Okay.
You can actually use your creativity to help you learn English.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be all textbooks and grammar rules.
Sometimes those can be a bit dry.
They can be, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can make it fun.
Okay, so what are we talking about here? What kind of things?
Well, for example, try drawing while you're listening to a podcast in English.
Okay.
Or keep a visual journal where you, sketch out new words and concepts.
No, that's a good idea.
So it's like creating a mental map of your learning.
I like that.
And what about music?
Oh, music is great.
Yeah.
I love listening to music.
So try writing song lyrics while you're listening to your favorite English songs.
Okay.
And you can leave blanks for the words you don't know.
Right.
And then go back and look them up later.
So it's a fun way to test my listening skill.
Yes, exactly.
And learn new vocabulary.
And it's fun, right?
It is fun.
And did you know, speaking of music,
Yeah.
did you know that playing a musical instrument can actually help you learn English?
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, it's true. Studies have shown that musicians have more gray matter in their brains.
Interesting.
And gray matter is responsible for things like memory and language.
So it's like a brain workout.
It is.
Yeah.
So if you've always wanted to learn the guitar or the piano,
I've always wanted to learn the piano.
now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
It's not just fun. It's good for your brain.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you know what? Any new language,
Yeah.
not just English,
Yeah.
is great for your brain.
It's like cross-training for your mind.
Yeah, it's like a mental workout.
Yeah.
Keeps you sharp, keeps you flexible, and it can even help prevent,
Cognitive decline.
yeah, as you get older.
Wow, languages are powerful.
They are. They are.
Okay, so what else do we need to know?
Well, let's talk about multitasking for a second.
Multitasking.
Yeah, we all do it.
We do. Sometimes too much.
Yeah, we're checking our emails, we're scrolling through social media.
Trying to do a million things at once.
Yeah, and it's tempting to try to fit in English practice at the same time.
Yeah, while I'm cooking dinner or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Yeah.
when we do too many things at once, especially if they're unrelated, it actually makes us less effective.
We get overwhelmed.
Yeah, we get overwhelmed. Our brain's like, what's going on?
Right, right.
And we end up doing everything poorly.
So how can we multitask in a way that actually helps us learn English?
That's a great question. So the key is to focus on things that are related.
Okay.
So for example, while you're listening to a podcast in English,
Yeah.
Try summarizing the main points out loud.
Okay, so I'm using my listening skills and my speaking skills at the same time.
Exactly. And it forces you to really pay attention to what you're hearing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or while you're reading an article, make a list of new vocabulary words.
Okay, so I'm engaging with the material more deeply.
Yes, and you're engaging different parts of your brain.
Got it.
So it's like a more efficient way to learn.
I like that.
And just like our bodies need rest
Yes.
after exercise,
We need our sleep.
we need our sleep. Our brains need downtime too.
Absolutely.
And in our busy world, it's easy to forget about that.
Yeah, we're always go, go, go.
But sleep is absolutely crucial
Or so many things.
for everything, especially for learning and memory.
Right.
So when we sleep,
Yeah.
our brain processes all that information from the day,
Oh, okay.
and it puts it into our long-term memory.
So it's like our brain is filing everything away while we sleep.
Exactly. It's like an overnight filing system.
I like that analogy.
So if you're not getting enough sleep,
Ah.
those files get all messed up.
It's like a messy desk.
Exactly. It's like a messy desk in your brain.
Okay, so sleep is important.
Sleep is super important.
Try to get more sleep.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here
We have.
about thinking in English.
But before we move on, I just want to emphasize one really important thing.
Okay.
Thinking in English might seem really daunting at first.
It can be
Yeah, it's like you're stepping into this whole new world.
a world where you don't have to translate anymore.
Exactly. And that can feel scary.
It can.
And it's natural to feel lost or overwhelmed.
Definitely.
But here's the key.
What's the key?
Embrace the challenge.
Okay.
Be curious. Be adventurous.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Mistakes are part of the process.
They are inevitable, and they're actually really valuable.
Yeah, they teach us.
They do.
So when you make a mistake, don't get discouraged. Just learn from it.
Exactly. See it as an opportunity to learn and grow.
Okay.
Remember, everyone learns at their own pace.
Yeah.
So don't compare yourself to others.
Focus on your own progress.
Yeah, and celebrate those little wins
I like that.
because they add up over time.
They do.
And most importantly, enjoy the journey.
Yeah, learning English should be fun.
It should be. It's an adventure.
It is.
It opens up a whole new world of communication and culture and experiences.
I completely agree.
So just embrace the challenge, have fun,
Yeah.
and trust yourself. You can do it.
We believe in you.
We do. We're here to help you along the way.
Absolutely.
And with that, we're going to wrap up part 1.
Okay.
We hope you found this helpful so far.
Yeah, we've shared some good tips
And in part 2, we're going to continue with even more tips and techniques.
to help you achieve your English fluency goals.
So until then, keep practicing, keep believing in yourself.
Yeah, you got this.
You got this.
We'll see you in part 2.
See you there.
So welcome back to part 2.
I'm glad you're still with us.
In part 1, we talked about, some basic things like
Starting small,
learning like a kid,
immersion,
using your voice.
even music, remember.
Yeah, music was a good one.
So now let's kind of dig a little deeper
Okay.
into some specific techniques that can really help you
Yeah.
make that switch.
From
You're
translating
just thinking,
in English.
yeah. So
Specifically.
one of the biggest things that holds people back is the fear of making mistakes.
Oh, absolutely.
And I get it, right? We've all been there.
Yeah, we don't want to sound silly.
You're worried about being judged.
Exactly.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Mistakes are absolutely essential
Really?
to learning any language. They're actually your best teacher.
Huh. I never thought of it that way.
Think about it. When you make a mistake,
Yeah.
you realize there's something you need to learn.
You become aware of a gap in your knowledge.
Yeah, like it's a little signpost
Okay.
pointing you in the right direction.
I like that.
So instead of seeing them as failures,
Yeah.
see them as opportunities. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So how about we talk about a fun way to practice?
Okay.
This is something you can do on your own. It's called thinking aloud.
Thinking aloud.
Yeah, and it's basically just describing what you're doing
In English.
in English as you're doing it.
Okay. Give me an example.
Okay, so let's say you're making breakfast.
Yeah, I love breakfast.
As you're doing it, you would say, I'm pouring cereal into the bowl.
Okay.
I'm adding milk. I'm slicing a banana.
Okay, so like I'm narrating my own life,
Yeah, exactly.
but in English.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might feel a little strange at first,
Probably.
but the more you do it, the more natural it becomes.
I can see that.
And you're basically training your brain
To think
to think and speak
in English
without having to translate.
automatically.
Yeah, automatically.
Interesting.
Now, another really powerful technique is visualization.
Visualization.
Yeah, and this is all about creating those mental pictures
Okay.
to help you remember
Words and phrases.
exactly. So let's say you're trying to remember the word Apple.
Apple. Okay.
Close your eyes and imagine like a bright red apple
Okay. I got it.
hanging from a tree branch, and you're taking a bite
Juicy.
and you're tasting that sweetness.
Oh, yeah. I can almost taste it.
Right. And so by creating that really vivid image,
Yeah.
you're connecting the word apple with a sensory experience.
Okay, so it's more than just the word.
Yeah, it's a whole experience.
It's a feeling.
Yeah, and the stronger that connection, the easier it's going to be to remember.
That makes sense.
Now let's talk about something that's really important for anything you're trying to learn, your mindset.
Mindset.
It plays a huge role in your success with English.
How so?
If you believe you can do it,
Yeah.
you're much more likely to actually do it.
Okay.
But if you constantly doubt yourself
Yeah.
and tell yourself it's too hard,
Right.
you're creating these unnecessary obstacles.
Yeah, you're getting in your own way.
Exactly. So it's all about cultivating that positive mindset.
So I need to believe I can do it.
Yeah, believe in yourself.
Okay.
And remember, learning a language is a journey.
Not a destination.
Exactly. There's going to be ups and downs.
You always are.
But if you stay focused, if you stay persistent,
Yeah.
and most importantly, positive,
Positive.
you will reach your goals.
I like that.
Now let's touch on something that sometimes gets overlooked.
What's that?
Emotions.
For emotions. Okay.
Our emotions can really affect our learning.
Yeah, I could see that.
If you're stressed, anxious, overwhelmed,
Yeah, you can't focus.
it's hard to concentrate, it's hard to remember things.
It's like your brain just shuts down.
Exactly. But when you're relaxed, when you're engaged,
Yeah.
when you're having fun even,
Fun. Yeah.
your brain is much more receptive to learning.
So it's like create a positive learning environment.
Yeah, make it enjoyable for yourself.
Okay, so like how can I do that?
Well, maybe you love watching movies.
Yeah, I do.
Watch a comedy in English.
Okay.
Laughter is a great stress reliever,
It is.
and you're learning without even realizing it.
I like that.
Or maybe you're passionate about a certain hobby.
Yeah.
Find resources related to that hobby
In English.
in English.
Okay.
The key is to connect it with something you genuinely enjoy,
Yeah, make it fun.
so it doesn't feel like work.
Like a chore.
Yeah,
It should be an enjoyable experience.
it should be.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about something that can be incredibly beneficial
Okay.
for improving your pronunciation and your fluency.
What's that?
It's called recording yourself.
Oh, okay.
I know it can be a little intimidating.
It can be a bit scary,
Yeah.
hearing your own voice.
But trust me, it's such a valuable tool.
Okay, so how do I do it?
So find a short passage in English.
Okay.
It could be from a book, an article online.
Or something I wrote?
Yeah, or even something you wrote yourself.
Okay.
Record yourself reading it out loud
Okay.
and then listen back.
To myself.
Yeah, okay. Pay attention to your pronunciation, your intonation.
Your sound.
Yeah, how you sound, your fluency.
And what am I looking for?
See if there are any areas where you could improve.
Okay.
Maybe you're stumbling over certain words.
Yeah.
Maybe your intonation's a little flat.
Okay.
By identifying those weaknesses, you can target them in your practice.
So it's like I'm my own teacher.
Exactly.
I like that.
And here's a bonus tip.
Okay.
Once you've identified those areas,
Yeah.
record yourself again,
Okay.
focusing on those specific things,
Got it.
and then compare the two recordings.
Yeah, okay.
You'll be amazed at how much progress you can make,
Even in a short time.
even in a short time.
Okay, that's encouraging.
Now, we've talked a lot about individual techniques,
Yeah.
but one of the most powerful things you can do
Yeah.
is to connect with other learners.
Other people.
Yeah. So find a language exchange partner.
Yeah.
Join an online forum.
Or a local group.
Yeah, a conversation group, anything.
Right.
And by interacting with others,
You get more practice.
you get that real-world practice.
With speaking and listening.
Exactly. And you learn from each other's mistakes.
Yeah. And you can share tips.
Share tips, share
And
resources.
it's like a support system.
It is. It's a community.
Yeah, I like that.
And learning a language is much more fun
It is.
when you have that support.
Definitely.
So we've covered a lot of ground in part 2.
Rehab.
But before we move on to the final part,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
Learning a language is a process.
It takes time.
It takes time, it takes effort, it takes consistency.
Right.
So don't get discouraged.
Yeah, don't give up.
If you don't see results immediately, celebrate those small victories
Yeah.
and just keep moving forward,
One step at a time.
one step at a time.
Okay.
And most importantly, never stop believing.
In yourself.
In yourself.
In your ability to reach your goals.
Exactly.
I like that.
We'll be back in part 3
Okay.
with even more insights and tips
To help you on your journey,
to thinking in English.
I'm excited for part 3.
All right, welcome back
So the final part
of our, exploration.
of thinking in English.
And we've covered a lot.
We have.
From starting small,
Learning like a kid,
immersion, using your voice,
embracing those mistakes,
connecting with other learners.
mindset,
So many things.
all those good things.
So now we want to kind of
Bring it all together
tie it all up in a nice little bow.
and leave you with some final key takeaways.
Exactly.
And hopefully some inspiration to keep going.
Yeah, because one of the most important things to remember
Okay.
is that language is not just about, words and
It's about communication.
it's about connecting with people.
Expressing yourself.
And when you can think in English,
Yeah.
you unlock this whole new level of fluency.
You do.
Right. You're no longer limited
Yeah.
by
Right.
that translation step.
It's so freeing.
It is. You can just be spontaneous.
Yeah.
You can be authentic,
More confident.
more confident. Exactly.
So how do we get there?
Well, it's really a combination of everything we've talked about.
All the things.
Starting small, immersion, using your voice,
Mindset, believing in yourself.
connecting with others.
Yeah.
All of it works together.
It all ties in.
So I want to share a little analogy that might help.
Okay, I like analogies.
Imagine you're learning to swim.
Okay.
At first, you're kind of awkward.
You're splashing
You're
around.
swallowing water. You're not sure what you're doing.
You're not very graceful.
But with practice,
Yeah.
you start to get the hang of it.
Things start to click.
Your movements become smoother.
More relaxed.
You can breathe.
Yeah.
And eventually, you find yourself just gliding through the water.
Effortlessly.
Yeah, and thinking in English is similar.
Okay.
At first, it feels weird.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge. You might stumble.
And I'd have to translate a little bit.
Yeah, but with consistent effort,
Yeah.
you start to notice a shift.
Things become more natural.
Your thoughts just flow.
Yeah.
You can express yourself more easily.
And you feel more confident.
So keep practicing.
Keep experimenting.
Keep believing in yourself.
We know you can do it.
We do. And we're so excited for you.
To experience that freedom.
The joy of thinking in English.
Absolutely.
So thank you for joining us.
On this journey,
We hope you found it valuable,
we hope you learned a lot
and we wish you all the best.
on your English learning adventure.
Until next time.
Happy learning, everyone.